Good morning. Dreary morning again. This is what we always feared. No matter what they say about the weather, if they put rain on there, you usually get it. It rained again this morning a little bit. Still really wet from yesterday, so it was a good thing we got them swaths picked up. Yesterday all we did was dry grain and get set up around the yard. Our tandem's full of wet grain. Super Bees are half full of wet grain. There's that 8,000 bushels still in those bins up there of wet grain. I put 2 fans on the 2 bins. I just want to see if it evens out throughout the bins. It's certainly not going to dry it, but we put that stuff in at like 18, so I just want to see if I blow on it for a week or whatever, what it looks like when I take it out. I'll have to dry it again, but maybe I won't have to dry it so much. Guy's coming here this morning for his 10 bags. Gonna get that loaded up. I'm gonna go fill up the swather, and then right across the road here, that canola, we're gonna swath that today if it doesn't rain. I was gonna go out last night and swath it, but it rained a lot yesterday, on and off. And then after supper, it was about 8 o'clock. I thought, well, I'll go out and swath a little bit for a few hours, and it rained. Not that you can't cut it in the rain, it's just, I don't know. So I didn't do a video yesterday. I'll put some clips in there. This red auger here, this big auger into the dryer now, we put a bin sensor on the end of it. We don't buy the bin sensors like from out of the ag shows or anything like that. We just made our own. Now we're just rigging up our bin full sensor that we made ourselves. Pretty simple thing. You just run a trigger switch, run a wire up to it at the top. My dad built a flapper, so when the grain hits the flapper, it touches the switch, turns the light on down here. My brother got us a few of these, like overstocked. Well, that light there. So he got us a few of those. So that's what I'm going to use. Well, I had a white light on there before, but I never realized how ridiculous of an idea that was, because it was a pretty small light. And when you have the tractor lights on in the dark, plus that big light bar on, and then the bin fills up and that tiny little white light turns on, you can't see it at all anyways. So I got this blue flashing light on there now. I'm just gonna give her a test run and see if it actually flashes. That's hilarious. So my dad pushed the switch and it actually blinked. I know I said that's hilarious. I did have more confidence than that. I was pretty sure it was gonna work. But it's always nice and exciting when you can see it's raining again. Like, there's a line right here. All the way. Doesn't rain on that side, rains on this side. Our yard is actually the dividing line for some odd reason. For all sorts of things. Like even bad weather. If you get bad weather, it'll happen over on this side, but it won't happen on this side. Right down the middle of this yard. See? Perfect. Even the rainbow quit. See? Rainbow, stop, and nice. Pretty bizarre. Another thing I also learned in the last few years was the difference between like direct power and keyed power. Pretty exciting when you figure that out. Direct power, you always have a dead battery. I guarantee it, no matter who you are. And if you have keyed power, as long as you shut the key off, all the extra stuff you've put on there will also be off. So this light I've got hooked up to keyed power. So Buddy just got here for his 10 bags. My mom's out on the swather. Corey went up to unload the dry grain. And my dad's on the phone in the house with the kids. So I'm gonna load this guy up. By then, my mom should have the outside rounds done. I'll go set the GPS for her. Maybe make a few rounds. So we're done making our small bags now. I think we made 135 or so bags. Some pig feed, some chicken feed, and just some rolled barley. That's something that definitely a guy likes to get done on days like today. It was spitting on and off a little bit. It's still too wet from the rain yesterday. So we, and that's like I said earlier about back to setting up huge efficient drying systems. Definitely takes lots of work out of it, but big cost to it. So the last few years we've been getting a ton of rain days throughout the fall. In those rain days there's lots of times to dry, so we start the dryer up, and like I say, that's why we put the dryer down here. It's, you know, it's right out the door of the shop. A little loud in the yard, a little dusty sometimes or whatever, but you know, that's minor. You can still work in the shop, make these bags, make the feed. You know, you can do all these things and keep the dryer running.